I've made over $5.3 million trading crypto over the last 2 years. And if I lost everything tomorrow, all of my money, all of my knowledge, and I had to start again as a complete beginner with nothing, this is the exact strategy that I'd use to make it back fast. Because it's the same system that my students use. As you can see here, both Victoria and Novello both made 6 figures within a single year. And as you can see here, Kaizen, he took $1,000 and turned it into 7 figures in a single year, starting with very basic crypto knowledge. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you the easiest way to start investing in crypto step by step so you can generate results just like this too. So it all starts with which coins do we buy and sell? Which coins do we pick? Because there are so many coins to choose from. It is so easy to get lost in all of the noise, especially this crypto bull run. So I've made this pyramid here, and at the top of it, you have Bitcoin, tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. We're going to cover these shortly after. However, we will start with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the king of crypto, and it will always be, because there are only 21 million Bitcoin, and there are more millionaires in the world than there are Bitcoin. So even if you just have one Bitcoin, you'll probably do all right. And I believe that Bitcoin will eventually flip the market cap of gold because they're both used as a store of wealth. And if I want to store my wealth in gold, then it's very hard to do so because I cannot carry millions or even billions of dollars of gold with me, physical gold that is. Now, if I want to send that to somebody, well then that's going to be extremely complicated. And usually for that money to hit my bank account, I've got to go through a bank, sign a bunch of documents. It's a lot of headache. However, if I want to send millions and billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin to somebody, it's done pretty much instantly. And if I want to travel with my money and keep it safe on me, I can do so. So, as you can see here, this is the market cap of gold. As of today, gold has had a high run and it is now over $30 trillion in value. And if we go to coingecko.com, you can see at the top here, Bitcoin is number 1 and it has a market cap of over 1.5 trillion. Now, Bitcoin is the best performing asset in the last decade. Since 2008, it has probably been one of the best performing assets by far, and it will probably continue to do so. Now, let me compare the market cap of Bitcoin. If Bitcoin is going to flip the market cap of gold, first of all, it needs to flip the market cap of silver. And the market cap of silver is $4.9 trillion. And the current market cap of Bitcoin is $1.5 trillion. That means if you divide this number, 4.9 divided by 1.5, that gives you 3.3x. And that means Bitcoin needs to multiply by 3.3x in price in order to reach silver alone, let alone gold, which is around $230,000 to around $250,000. You still get a very good return on your money. However, the market cap of gold here is 35 trillion as around today. And the market cap of Bitcoin is 1.5 trillion. That means that Bitcoin needs to 23.6x in order to reach gold. So let's say if you put in $1 million, or let's start with smaller numbers, $1,000, and 23.6x's, you will end up with $23,000. Or if you buy a whole Bitcoin at this price and it 23.6x's and matches the same market cap as gold, then that is $1.7 million per Bitcoin. And that lines up also with the amount of millionaires in the world that there are. So that is Bitcoin and where I think it is going to head in a very quick summary. Then that brings us to tier number 2, the top performing layer 1. Now, what is a layer 1? A layer 1 is a coin that has its own blockchain. Now, if we go back to coingecko.com and you can go to the homepage here, you can see every single cryptocurrency there is that is listed on this exchange. Not all of them on here because some are so small that they don't even really deserve to be on here. That's why they're not. So as you can see here, Bitcoin is a layer 1. Ethereum is a layer 1, BNB is a layer 1, XRP is a layer 1, and Solana TRX. These are all layer 1s. Dogecoin is not a layer 1. What a layer 1 is, it means they have their own blockchain, and that means that you can build other coins on that blockchain. But you can see all of the layer 1s here. The largest layer 1 changes from cycle to cycle because it all depends on what people want. Yes, Ethereum may be above Solana. However, in the 2023 to 2024 cycle, Solana was the top performing layer 1 with the most amount of volume. And as you can see here, Solana had a lot more growing volume at that time than BNB, and BNB is larger than Solana. So as you can see, this has more volume because it means that more people are trading the coin. And therefore, what that means is that they can buy the next step, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. But last cycle, the main layer one was Ethereum, and this cycle, it has been Solana. And these coins actually outperform Bitcoin for a brief period in time. For example, when Bitcoin pumps, these layer ones pump even harder. When Bitcoin dumps, these layer ones also dump even harder. So what are these coins that are built on top of these layer ones on the blockchain? And these are altcoins, tier 3. That's why they're at the bottom. And usually the money rotates from Bitcoin into the top performing layer one. So you'll get Bitcoin pump first, then the money will rotate into the top performing layer one. And then once the top performing layer one has finished pumping, you will then rotate into all of the altcoins. So don't just buy any random coin at any moment expecting it to pump. That used to work in previous cycles in 2017 because there were so few coins. Now there are millions and millions of coins that they all cannot pump simultaneously. You need to be able to time it correctly. And that's what I'm going to teach you here. So as I said, there are thousands of altcoins being made every single day. There are about 60,000 made a day in 2026. So how do we pick the best ones? Because there is not enough money in the world for all of them to pump. Now you need to be careful because there are a lot of rug pulls out there, meaning some random Joe Schmo off the street can make their own coin nowadays, put a small amount of money, and then when you buy it, they take your money. So you need to be careful of a lot of rug pulls out there. And you can do that by having your due diligence, seeing that the coin is investing into things. And you can also read the chart depending on the market cycle, which we're going to cover on later on in this video. So you need to watch until that moment there. But you make the most amount of money during an alt season. Now, alt seasons are very different. And I'm going to go back to coingecko.com. And we go to categories here. Now, alt seasons in the past, that meant that all altcoins pumped. However, we cannot do that now because there are so many coins out there and there is not enough money in the world for them all to pump simultaneously. Now, we are having a down day on crypto right now. However, what you would find is a certain category that is outperforming the rest of them, as you can see here. Tokenized gold is doing very well at the moment because of the gold pump and the silver pump. However, this is not going to sustain. This is all just based on people gambling on the price of gold. But as you can see, that is my point. A certain category in crypto will continue to do well no matter what. So in 2021, we had DeFi, decentralized finance here. As you can see, it is down a lot at the moment. In 2023, we had meme coins, and that is also down at the moment. But in meme coins, you had certain dog theme meme coins and Elon Musk inspired and things like that. We saw a short stint of privacy coins just recently, but each moment in time has their category that pumps. And that is why we will not get an alt season like many people think we will in 2017 and 2020, 2021. It is very different now. So certain categories will pump. But a beginner tip here, if you are trying to grow your account, you do not need a lot of coins to do well. And in fact, having too many coins will actually hurt you. Because let's say if you own 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 coins here. Now, let's say if you've diversified yourself across many coins. Now, only certain categories in crypto are now doing well at a moment in time. Let's say you buy 2 of these, right? And these both 2x as a minimum. I'm just using easy maths here. But the other 4 are underperforming and they have dropped 50%. And this is very possible. Then that means that these 2 coins are now worth the value of 4 coins. And so now these ones, 4 coins have dropped 50%, then that means that you are down that. So now you are actually still down, even though you picked 2 winners that did 2x and 4 losers that dropped 50%. So if you diversifying yourself across many different categories in crypto actually hinders your growth nowadays. The best way to do this is to focus on one specific area and go all in and do much better. So let's say if you put your portfolio into 1 or 2 coins that are, say, Bitcoin, the top performing layer 1, and then the second coin is your altcoin. Therefore, if your altcoin goes up 2x, you now make 2x on your portfolio pretty much. However, if this coin does go down, then obviously you do lose your portfolio at a much larger rate. However, diversifying yourself across many different categories does not work anymore in crypto. You are much better off having a high conviction play. This coin here, when you buy one of them, it is not just a random gamble. It is a calculated investment based on the current market. And these are just some of the coins that I've been able to catch in this cycle alone. In the last cycle, in 2023, 2024, and into 2025, I've been able to call 5 meme coins before they went to $1 billion market cap. That was MOG, PopCap, Pepe, Bonk, and Whiff. And these are many of the coins that I've done over the time. Vanry did a 10x. Solana I caught at $16 at the cycle lows in 2022 before it went above and beyond $250. Jup 4x, JTO 3x, Doge 5x, PopCap 5x, Retardio 3x, Pepe 15x, FET 20x, Savam 100x, and I did over 1000x on TITS. Meaning that if you put $1,000 in, you would make 20 to over 100,000 or even close to 1 million, depending on which coins. I call all of these inside my mentorship with my students, and you can find information about that in the description below. So now I've taught you how to pick the best coin. How do you buy and sell them in the best possible areas? Because it doesn't matter how good your coin is. If you buy and sell the coin at the wrong time, you will lose money, even if you've picked the best coin in the world. And it is quite simple. You buy low and you sell high. That is how simple it is. But many people get this overcomplicated. And you can do this by simply buying pullbacks. Most beginners wait for the green candles before they buy. This means that they chase the tops and they buy the top before a dip. They then usually sell the dip and then price goes higher, or obviously they buy the top, continue holding, and then keeps dipping. And that is what happens when you buy green candles. But I do the opposite. I wait for all of the hype to die down. Exactly what you're seeing right now in crypto. There's a massive dip at the moment and all of the hype is dying down, and these are perfect opportunities where you can get back on board. And I buy after the pullback has happened, when people are scared and not excited. Oh, price is going up. And so if this feels boring or uncomfortable for you to buy, that's usually where the best entries are. Because as you can see here, we wait for moments like this. When price pulls back, that is the best opportunity to get on board here before price rallies up again. And that's where we look to sell. And where should you execute these trades? So for example, I'm doing a 1 to 100K trading challenge right now, and I am currently using Bluefin. So you check the description below. That is where I'm trading on. And you do not need to use KYC on those exchanges. However, other exchanges that are reputable, that do require KYC and you need an ID, is Bybit. This is the other one that I use, and Coinbase, but this is spot only. So you need, so you can only buy the coin. You cannot actually actively trade it. Or if you're on the decentralized, use a Phantom wallet, but this is spot only as well. So that's how you buy low. So how do you sell high? And that's very simple. You simply avoid FOMO, which is the fear of missing out. As I said, this is where most beginners buy. And so you just simply wait. You do not chase pumps. Sometimes chasing a pump like here will work. And that's exactly what keeps making you do it time and time again. If nothing worked ever, if FOMOing didn't ever work, nobody would ever do it. But FOMO works occasionally on the random time, like probably once out of 20. So FOMOing does work sometimes. That's what makes people continue to win. And everyone knows if you go to a casino, the odds are in the house's favor. I'm not saying this is trading, but the odd win, the odd feeling of winning keeps you hooked. So don't keep doing it. Just completely remove it. You may miss out occasionally, but on the long run, you will win. And that is what we want here. We want to win on the long run. So some people make money and then they give it all back. For example, they keep buying the dip and then eventually the dip keeps dipping. So that is because they don't understand where we are in the current market cycle. And I'm going to teach you that here. So this is a market cycle, and that you need to etch this into your brain permanently. And everyone's probably seen this one, but I'm gonna change it slightly because this is all based on emotions. As you can see, disbelief, hope, optimism, belief, thrill, euphoria. But I'm gonna show you in a systemized 4-step system here. These are the different stages of the market cycle. We have stage number 1 down here. And it always starts with accumulation. Every single market starts with an accumulation. And this is the bottom of the market. This is when prices are low, sentiment is bad, and everyone says it's all over. This is when smart money is quietly buying in with very little volume, and they buy over a period of time. There is usually no hype, no influencers, and very little real retail. But this is where the millionaires are made. But nobody wants to buy because it is boring and scary. And let me show you the example here, like this. This is back in 2015 on the total market cap. As you can see here, in this moment, price is just going sideways. It is very boring and nobody wants to be part of it. Which leads us to stage number 2, the markup and the trend. In these moments here, accumulation and early stage 2 is the best time for buying, especially as we move from stage 1 into stage 2, because then that means you don't have to wait in accumulation and you get to skip all of accumulation and you get into the trend as it starts moving up. And in the markup phase, aka the bull run, this is where price starts climbing, early believers start to double down and add on their positions. This is when some influencers return, some of them. Hype, but they are still a bit negative. Hype starts to build and momentum grows. Media starts to report bullishly and retail starts to enter, but it feels early. This is when you want to start to scale in hard. And as you can see, we go back to the chart here. This is the moment of the early bull trend. And as you can see, we've started to make higher highs and higher lows. We've broken out of a range now. Accumulation is a range where we go sideways, and then stage 2, the markup, aka the bull run, is where we start to make higher highs and higher lows into the market, and we start moving a lot higher. So as you can see here, this is all stage number 2, and this is where the money is made, which leads us into stage number 3, distribution. Sometimes distribution, we can go into reaccumulation before we go up again. However, I'm not going to cover that in this video, as this is basic stuff. If you want more complicated stuff, I will cover that in future videos. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Now, distribution is the mania phase. Prices are at all-time highs. Everyone thinks they're a genius because all of their bags are up. They've made a lot of money. This is when smart money starts to sell into retail euphoria, because retail euphoria provides a lot of volume for the people with a lot of money to sell into. As before, in stage 1, there was not a lot of volume. In stage number 3, there is a lot more volume and volatility starts to increase. As you can see on the chart here, this period here is a lot more volatile than any moment down here. This gray box is tiny. It doesn't look very volatile. Now, as you can see here, this is extremely volatile. Each candle is massive. And as you can see here, this is the distribution phase. Let me make that yellow. Distribution phase up here. Usually it's sideways, sometimes it's a spiky top. News is overly bullish, and this is when everyone else is FOMOing in. They're buying the top, FOMO, which we want to avoid as per stage 2. This is the time to exit, not enter the markets. And this is actually where I was able to call the exact top of the previous crypto bull run in 2021 that led to a bear market, and you'll be able to see that on the screen right now. So after stage 1, 2, and 3, and we've started to distribute, we then start to break down. This is the best time to sell as we break down. And that leads to stage number 4, the downtrend, aka the markdown or the bear market. And what happens here is the reality is setting in here for people. Prices start to drop fast, and because prices start to drop fast, more people start to panic sell, 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 and that causes more sell pressure. And that's where most of the time retail just holds their bag all the way back down to the bottom. And this is where people start panic selling, and then their losses start to grow. And this is now when people start to leave crypto, and then eventually it finds a bottom again. And then this is when we come back to accumulation, and we then start to build the base again for stage 1, which you can see on the chart here. We went from stage 1 down here, accumulation, stage 2, the bull run, stage 3, distribution, and then now we go into stage number 4, the bear market here. So we've gone from stage 1 sideways, accumulation, stage number 2, the bull run, where we make higher highs and higher lows, stage number 3, a very, very short stage number 3, but it also goes sideways, and then it breaks down into stage number 4, the bear market, where we make lower highs and lower lows, and we start to trend downwards. Then what happens is we move back into accumulation here. And the whole market cycle starts to repeat itself again from stage 1 to stage 2 to stage 3 to stage 4. And this is where you either get wiped out or you start to build conviction for the next market cycle. And we're now currently here in stage 4, moving into stage 1 at the beginning of 2026. Therefore, we are going to soon restart the entire consolidation phase before starting a brand new bull run, which is the best time to start getting involved with crypto. Now look, this 3-step framework will get you started, but if you want to fast track your results, this crypto bull run, and as I said, we're right at the start, and simply copy the exact same trades that I'm taking, then you need to join my private trading mentorship, aka the 7-figure mastermind inner circle. I've already helped create multiple millionaires and countless 6 figure earners through the mentorship and all of the trades that I provide inside. As you can see, all of the proof right here, right now on the screen. Because here's the reality, the markets are pulling back and it's the best time to take opportunity. Everyone inside is positioning themselves right now while this window is still open, and we're experiencing this current pullback, and so that you have the same opportunity as they do, if not a better opportunity, because prices are already pulling back. So visit bisbtc.com to see more of the success stories that I've already helped create this cycle, and so you can be one of them too next crypto cycle. That's it for this video. I hope you found massive value, and I'll see you all in the next one.